Hello and welcome, all you wonderful 2B Dicers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. I'm your host, Tarzan82855. With me is the wonderful eclectic talent of TikTok content creators and so on and so forth. We're a wide band of talented individuals of 2B Dice Adventures. That being said, let's go ahead and get a quick cast introduction, starting off with our lovely Victor the Story Weaver playing Guy.
Hi, it's me, Victor the Story Weaver, and currently playing the very charismatic, absolutely undeniable charmer, the best pilot the galaxy has ever seen and will ever see, Guy Neverasoter, aka Hawkbat.
You said Chavron.
Chevron is the type of oil that I use to keep the ship going. It's a good support system. It's good, it's like a sidekick kind of thing.
You're gonna get
Anyway.
stabbed in the leg, all right?
Oh, hi. I'm Sam. I play Dr. Bess Rutam. I think someone is liable to get cut tonight, so it's a good thing I'm around.
Up next.
I was too busy shit talking. I forgot that it was my turn. Anyway, hi, I'm Matt, also known as War Tornite there, out there on the interwebs there. This evening, I will be playing the actual best pilot in the galaxy and beyond, undefeated in every space combat and champion of the Bespin Cloud Car Grand Prix, Chav, Agent Lancer, Visto. Hold your applause. Hold your applause.
Starting off the next row with Rawl down there.
Sorry, Raw was busy holding his applause. Yes, hello. Tis I, Raw, also known as Oz in the interwebs, also known as Son of a Ghost on the other interwebs. Yeah, so this is gonna be fun. Made some popcorn. Gonna watch the brawl out session happen on my ship. Should be fun.
And then finally, to round off the cast for tonight's episode, down there, we love them. They're great. They can talk themselves out of it. Almost every situation so far. It's Ego.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? I am Ren. I'm Masqueran on the internet, and I am playing Ego in Esa, who is a Twi'lek scoundrel, who is baby and has never done a thing wrong in his life. Thank you.
And that's our cast for tonight's episode of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. We have plenty of other shows on the docket for 2B Dice Adventures. That being said, let's go ahead and do a little quick slate of the week for what we have in store for the rest of the week. Tomorrow at what time, Dr. Besrutam, is Valley of the Endless War taking off?
It starts at 9 p.m. EST. That is New York and Florida time.
Goody. Oh, so goody. 7 p.m. my time, I believe. For those of you based in Arizona, with the great state that doesn't do daylight savings time ever. Then
I'll get you, my pretty.
and then that it will be it for this week's slate. However, we do already have the next episode of Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diego locked in at April. I struggle with that title. It's too goddamn long. Episode 55 will be taking off April 28th, correct?
24th.
24th, 4 days off. April 24th. At what time have we locked in so far, or are we still debating on that?
Our normal start time of 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and the conversions for everything else after that.
Yeah, buddy. So be on the lookout for that at the end of the month. Other than that, that's all we have for announcements. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's change things up here a little bit. There we go. We last left off with with last episode. The party had arrived to the planet of Korriban. Upon entry into the sector, the party's ships were hailed by a fleet of pirates, known as under the the Scarlet Banner, helmed by a rotund individual. What's Bess's species again?
Pandoran.
Pantoran. There we go. Pantoran, rotund Pantoran with a greasy, slick back hair, balding style of the ship, the Gaping Maw.
It's funny because you can say it with a D or a T, and it still means the same thing. It's the blue people.
Yes, the Blue Man Group. The party refusing to surrender to be boarded by the Gaping Maw decide to utilize their numbers and mobility to take on this fleet and dispatch them. With expert precision, the party takes down the Scarlet Banner and defeats the corvette frigate that was backing that was the command or the flagship of the pirates, and forced it to drive head on into an asteroid. The victory did come with a slight cost. The Echo Selene taking significant damage from the battle, but albeit the party remained intact and with all their goods unmolested. The party then descends into the atmosphere of Korriban, landing after touching down, begin to disembark their respective ships and assess the damages that they sustained. And that is where our story begins. As the crew takes in the atmosphere of Korriban for the first time, the heavy atmosphere that surrounds you begins to weigh on you quickly. Those of you not attuned to the force, unaffected by this atmosphere, or by the whispers, the only person that can be affected by this at this time is Rawl. As you disembark your ship, constant fleeting whispers seem to flit about you. The shadows in the peripheral range of your view catching your attention, and as you turn to address it, those shadows dissipate. This atmosphere instills a level of unease, not only to the crew, but to the crypt chasers that accompany them. As Camden Floor, the Chiss dig supervisor, disembarks, you witness as he begins to give out commands to his dig team, establishing a command center not far off from where the ships have landed, setting up a central point in the center of the Valley of the Dark Lords. The crew finds themselves sitting dead center in between 5 massive crypts, each with their own imposing statues of Dark Lords past. These towering structures instilling a level or a sense of insignificance into each of you. Where the rest of this journey goes is to be diced. Core Atlas, you guys begin to take stock of the damages sustained to your respective ships. Excuse me. Dove and Uno begin immediate preparations of repairing the Echo Selene. After a few moments, Guy and Ego descend and land with their prize pilfered parts in tow. So, enough supplies to possibly fix any significant damages to the Echo Selene and patch the hull damage, and possibly make improvements to anybody else's ships with the gear recovered, or augmentations with some of the tractor beam that was recovered. So at this time, let's go ahead and turn our attention to the game table as we roll our luck points for the day, as well as some environmentals that we'll be having to deal with. If somebody would be so kind to share the table.
I got you. Share screen. There we go.
Well, let's get our luck tokens out there. One
Dark
dark
side
one.
already.
Nice, looking good.
There's a light side and another light side.
2 dark, 2 light so far.
3 light.
3?
Victor, me, and Chev. Or
Yes.
Ren, I mean.
No, you roll a dark side.
I know I rolled the dark side. Ren, Chev, and Victor
Yeah,
rolled light.
there you go. There it is.
I didn't mean to say me.
A little buff out. All right.
You want to roll a light side.
I do.
I'll roll a luck point or luck die for Dove. There we go. Balances all things should. Okay.
Sai, did you roll?
Hmm?
Did Sai roll?
Yeah, he was the first one.
The first one I see is Ren.
You got to refresh your page.
I see everybody else.
Because Simite was the first one to roll.
Yeah,
Well,
I might have rolled before you opened the page. Just before, or as you were loading it.
the game table
Oh,
does weird
man.
things with the force, okay?
I
Yeah,
know.
buddy. Okay.
And I blame Guy.
So at this time, I'm also going to need a...
Yes.
Going to need a hard discipline check from everybody as well.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Who is disciplined here?
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
All right, guys, this is our time.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
What's your force rating, Roll?
I can pump it to 3.
What's
if I
your
want.
base force rating? 2?
Guy, calm down.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Hey.
Actually, let's just do 2 challenge die. Roll. There we go. You bitch.
The dice said no.
I still win.
I fucking hate.
Hell yeah.
I hate this game.
Yes.
This Rutam is not very wise or disciplined.
Listen,
Okay.
we just landed on the haunted planet. It's okay if things aren't crazy immediately.
It's
So,
it is also the haunted planet. It's not just a place, but a planet that's haunted.
fucking
so.
canceled out the threats. God damn it. So only Rawl was subjected to the challenges, but the rest of you passed with flying fucking colors if you must.
I must.
Indubitably.
Damn it, dude.
I only just barely passed, and that's because you rolled zero.
I just can't catch a win here.
Not allowed. You're barred. You're banned.
Okay.
Wait. I did not pass because I have 0 successes.
Yes, that's
Correct.
same with me.
But
Raul succeeded.
I did.
yeah, Rawl succeeds. Because there's no failures to beat, or there's no. I literally rolled nothing for the difficulty. I'm not going to make you guys still fail. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Because I mean, you got an advantage that'll carry you.
Okay.
It's just you get bad vibes. You're getting bad vibes. That's but it's not enough to the point that it impacts your ability to function.
Chav just starts sweating profusely.
It was those hot wings I was eating earlier.
Makes sense.
That being said, going forward, Rawl, every check that you perform today during this session, you will have 2 setback die as your obligation is triggered.
Triggered.
Everything you do has 2 setback die.
Oh, wow.
I am triggered. Very well.
Wait. Never mind.
Triggered.
What is my corruption level at right now? I don't think we have a meter for that, but
I think we've accrued 4 points so far.
I think that's correct. Yeah. I was at 3 when I was trying to kill the child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does that bring a
Spoiler
smile
alert.
to your face? That's fucked up, man.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler. It's
Raul
already
was
been
trying to
pop-
kill a child. Well, for the
Sorry.
people who don't know,
Okay.
Rawl's having a bad day, okay?
So, because we're on Korriban, you're the one mostly affected by the atmosphere of this planet. So yes, going forward, any checks you perform today will come with the caveat of 2 setback die to the difficulty. You guys go about your business preparing for the excavation. Is there any preparations you guys would like to do before linking up with Camden?
Question for clarification, real quick, about that. Is it Rawl specifically because of his corruption, or is it Force users because Ego's also a Force brother?
Ooh, that's right.
Sorry, Ego.
What
That's-
the hell, man?
Right.
just want to. I want to get the juicy, delicious.
I mean, on top of that, but Ego also succeeded with a triumph, so they managed to center themselves. Okay. But this is more so in line with your mission.
You ever been thinking about so many things that just another thing doesn't penetrate? That's where you're at.
Right.
Anxiety ceiling can't go any higher.
Exactly.
Ego, I would say, yeah, because of your attunement, you would also be able to pick up on these whispers. Often, it's not as intense as what Rawl's experiencing. It's just subtle whispers here and there. But Rawl, you're seeing shadows in your peripherals. And these whispers are kind of more intense for you.
Very well.
That being said, as you guys are standing here in the precipice of the Valley of the Dark Lords, you can't help but be impressed by the magnitude of these structures, towering hundreds of feet high, spanning well over a mile. These you stand in the center of two towering tombs spanning down this courtyard, a courtyard that leads up to a single tomb at the center, standing at the far end of this valley. You see, as you guys are convening with each other, Camden giving out various orders to his team after the command center has been erected, and they begin offloading gear and equipment from their ship and placing it strategically all throughout their command center that they've established. I'll present this question again. Is there anything you guys would like to do before approaching Camden?
Raw will probably climb on top of the VCX and try to use his macro binoculars to kind of scope out the general vicinity.
Okay.
Suffice to say, Guy is in total operation mode. So probably he would be making a list of inventory of tasks that are the most key, important in order of importance and urgency.
Okay.
That's communicating that with Gal. Literally, he's communicating between common and chirps and whistles that are basically part binary, because some words or some commands are easier to say in binary to Gal. So it would be things like, all right, make sure activate on the ship. Let's activate the sensor for the underground sonar. Let's activate set a perimeter to make sure that we're aware of what's happening. Let's get some eyes in the sky. Try to get a head count as well of how many people are we meeting, so we can get an estimate of how much of our rations and med packs we're going to need. As for that ship, and it's pointing at the ship that got really busted, something tells me we're going to try to have that as ready and as patched as possible in case we need to evacuate and we need the space. So let's just make sure that whatever these people need, let's provide them the kind of service that, as always, has kept us on 5 stars. And then fist bumps with Cal.
Did I ever actually get the stretcher?
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay, so
You have all your medical supplies that you wanted to get.
I'm grabbing that before staying on the ship, because the terrain is, as far as I know, it's not going to be as hospitable to a flat bottom wheeled droid.
All right. Roll, you climb up onto the VCX to get a higher vantage point of the valley. Go ahead and give me a general. Well, this will be a general perception check. But I'll give you 2 boost die on top of that. Let's call this an average difficulty with the 2 setback die from your trigger. Yeah, that'll do.
Not tracking anybody, so I'll take those off. You said a boost die?
Yes, with the binoculars down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I already have that. And with this roll, he's generally going to be looking at all of the entrances and exits that he can see, as well as like up to the top of the structure, any kind of openings, windows, balconies, all that kind of stuff.
All right. For the tombs?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is a failure, but you still have 4 advantages.
3.
Yes, 3. Sorry. Let's go. Let me go with this guy. You don't spot any activity. You don't spot any. You said you're looking for access points?
Yeah, the main entrance point, and like if there's anything higher elevation as you go up the monument, if there's any like windows, balconies, or anything like that.
Okay. So as you take a look around with the macro binoculars and you're looking for, you spot the main entry points in between the 2 massive towering statues of these Dark Lords. Easy enough to get to, and in fact, the closest one to your right seems to have already been entered once before. And as you recall your discussion with Camden prior, they had been here previously, but were chased off by the wildlife and the pirates.
Okay.
You look up higher into the elevator on these massive structures. It's just straight stone all the way up to the top. There's no portholes, or not portholes, but there's no windows or holes that would facilitate some type of alternate entry point. Yeah, there's you get a sense that the only easily accessible entry point is these main thresholds at the base of the structures.
Okay. A couple questions. One, do I recognize from past history and studies, do I recognize the faces of those statues?
Okay. Give me. This is going to be a lore check. We'll call this because Sith history is not widely accessible. In fact, it's one of them, especially with Palpatine in power. He doesn't. They keep these secrets closely guarded to the chest. I'm going to call this a formidable difficulty with a challenge of 2 because of that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you have the 2 setback die from your trigger.
And I don't know if you want to retcon. Oh my. Okay. I don't know if you want to retcon this, but you had also said last session that Rawl knows that out of the 3 that are supposedly supposed to be here, one of them he knows is not actually buried here.
Naga Sadao, correct. That's the only one that you would have had learned about because of the fact that he was buried on Yavin instead.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. As you take a look at these facades of these structures or these statues surrounding the courtyard, you will take notice to several of them. One of the towers, or one of the tombs, unfortunately, the faces have been completely either intentionally destroyed or worn away from thousands of years of erosion taking place. But you'll take notice of the tomb of Naga Sadao. That one's going to be off to your left. The second one on your left. The first one on your left is the tomb of Ajunta Paul, the first Dark Lord of the Sith. Next is going to be the tomb of Mark Aragnos, the first one on your right. Nope, no, he's the farthest one at the end. Farthest one at the end, center tomb. Then the two on the right is going to be the first one on your right is, there's Mark Aragnos, not Ludocresh died to Mark Aragnos, I believe. Let me double check my notes here. Valley of the Dark Lords. Sorry for the aggressive typing. Dark Lords of the Sith. There we go. Where to go? That's not right. Come on now. Yeah. All right. Corbin, there we go. All right. What's of interest? Valley of the Dark Lords. We have. Oh yeah, there we go. Tulak Horde. That's the other one. Tulak Horde. Mark Aragnos. Ajunta Paul at the center. And the fourth one on the right is the unidentifiable tomb.
Okay. Fourth one on the right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is Ajunta Paul at the center.
And last question, based on my knowledge of force magics and burials and stuff like that, does it seem like these tombs are set up in a way to enhance something or have some kind of ritual tied to how they're set up?
You could reasonably assume that as you've entered into this valley, there is a deep concentration of dark side energy. Whether it's due to the formation of these structures, or maybe it's the innate nature of the planet itself. I'm not necessarily sure, but you could say, from surface value of understanding how these structures are set up, they may accentuate the natural flow of energy here.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Tarzan. Bess is going to send up the drones. And he's going to send them out to a 300-foot radius, and he's going to scan every biological life form within 300 feet, trying to get an idea of the microcosm of the area of the planet. He's looking for potable plants. He's looking for poisonous plants, creatures that are particularly carnivorous,
Okay.
and anything that might be sporting any kind of plague or disease.
Okay. We're using the shield remotes with the scanners.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Guy
Like it.
lights up for every single category.
All right. Go ahead and with the shield remote, give me a perception check. With the general scanner, I'll give you boost die per shield remote.
Perception for the
droids.
remote,
Yeah.
and a boost die for each one.
Correct.
Okay.
This will be a hard difficulty as you're scanning the general environment. Damn. Oh wait, you got 2 more.
Hmm?
You got 2 more boost dice. You got 5 in total.
Okay. Shit. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Okay. You send out the droids to begin a preliminary examination of the environment around you. The droids acknowledge your commands and begin to disperse. And you their optical lenses begin to emit these rays. Go ahead.
He's just watching his data pad as the data comes in.
You watch as they begin to scan and filter the information directly into your data pad. You're getting a lot of you're getting minor life forms, several minor life forms, be it insects and rodents. Some let's see, what else would there be? You got a couple it's very faint, but it's a few large life forms deep underground. From the radius that they are detecting them, it's unidentifiable, but they are fairly large in size, about slightly bigger than a humanoid. Then there's some life forms flying overhead, which you can easily spot yourself, but the droids identify them as Shirax, large bat-like avian creatures with razor-like teeth, flying in small swarms off in the distance. A small swarm circles overhead as they take notice to your ships arriving. They seem to be taking a curious interest in your guys' arrival, but don't make any contact with you guys as of yet. Plant life, you spot nothing. The plant life is barren here. And aside from that, you get the identified or the information on your crewmates as well as the crypt chasers.
So that means if the plant life is barren, either there is a oasis type area where there is plant life, or the entire structure of the planet is scavenger beasts, smaller scavenger beasts, and larger beasts that feed off the scavenger beasts. Interesting. Best we relay this information to the rest of the crew.
From basic information that you can scrounge up on Korban, even though Korban's information has been widely scrapped. They pulled most of the information off on this planet to hide what lives here. But you get there are swamps on Korban, albeit few and far in between and sporadic throughout the planet. This is primarily a desert planet. You relay that information to the rest of the crew and continue observation. Anybody else? It's about this time, Camden, after finishing delegating directives out to his team, he calls out to the crew of Poor Atlas. Excuse me, folks. We've completed our initial beachhead on this planet. Are we prepared for excavation at this time?
We are ready when you are.
Very well. We've initially
to us, as there are a lot of alarming life forms.
Oh, yes. We've encountered some of those life forms before. Large, slug-like creatures with rows of teeth. Durable creatures. Be prepared for that.
Why don't we create a sort of procession where your group rolls in the middle, and we will surround the front of you.
That would be idealistic. Thank you.
Who would like to take rear guard?
Excuse me. And you just basically see Guy bent over as he's just slowly moving with the help of Gal, setting up perimeter with an electric fence perimeter that he just basically has been extending and just putting from all the ships all around the section. It's just like, how has he covered that much ground in that little time? It's a mystery, but it's very meticulous. You can see that he has a bit of OCD. He just goes puts it and tries to make sure that the other one is where he wants it. Then you see he holds it, and Gal kind of goes, and then just the other one keeps passing it. Excuse me.
Tarzana, what's Camden's surface thoughts, please?
Ooh. You're getting excitement. Chiss are very well disciplined when it comes to maintaining their bearings. So you get a level of excitement, but controlled excitement. There's also some apprehension as he's uncertain as what to expect once you get further into the tomb that they had originally excavated.
That does not bode well for this planet. Could you not? Oh, God.
I'm getting Chronicles of Riddick all over again.
So true.
I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. We were trying to peer deeper.
Yeah.
What if just anytime you guys tap into the Force, it's just all negative?
It's all dark. I mean, it's on brand.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Korriban, people.
You can take a page out of Rawls' book.
No, thank you. You got that covered.
Terrible book.
You sure? It's
You
so
got-
terrible
you got
book
that
to
one
use.
covered. You're good. You're fine. Thank you so much.
I'm fucking stoked.
Uh,
Fine.
Raw parkours down from the top of the VCX and lands right in front of the procession, in front of Camden. I see where your party has first excavated. Would you like to proceed there first, or would you like to go to another tomb?
That tomb was the original site of where we detected the anomaly. Continued excavation would be preferred there.
Very well. I will scout ahead and see if it's safe to proceed. And Raw will hop on his little trusty partner and start speeding off.
Might I give a word of caution? The Sith have preparations in place for intrusion. Be careful.
I have complete faith in my partner. And he reached down and pats his little hoverboard. He's gotten me out of many a scrape.
You damn right I did.
Hey, Padre. He's literally talking to the guy that the party's meeting. So, what sort of geoscanners have you been using so far?
We use ground penetrating sonar primarily to pierce through the stone structures and identify the anomalies. Much of the tomb has already been pilfered by scavengers and pirates. There is much left. There isn't much left to be discovered, but we hope to discover more deeper below.
I mean, going deeper into a cave of some very eerie planet, what could go wrong? Anyway, not my business. That's what keeps me working. And then just so guy just takes out and he has takes out two distress beacons and he just sort of like turns to starts describing it to everybody. So I have two of these left. I'm going to give these to the two groups so that make sure that if you ever need it, I will be able to track it. Gal as well. And he hands one to the excavation team, and then he sort of turns to the group, and like one of the nearest people is Raul, and you just see his hand about to pass, and he's just like, "Not definitely not you." And it's just that moment of nah. It just kind of goes like super like curveball around, and just hands it to Ego.
Raw rolls his eyes and speeds off.
And then it just goes, and you, cloud car guy.
What do you want?
And you see guy just kind of goes toward you, walks very intentionally, stops right in front of you, and then you see him with his both arms just go on his shoulders and just grab your shoulders, like pat your shoulders, like plop, and then just looking at you, and then just brings you in and just gives you a hug, and he goes, "Just don't die stupid." And I would like to try to sleight of hand tracker on Chav.
Ooh, I like it.
Which is not something that I'm good at, but I'm gonna go
Guy-
for it because why the hell not?
Yeah,
It's
guy.
okay. I'm not very perceptive, so this
I know.
is.
I figured we both would be like very bad at this, so
All right.
it will be great either way.
Guy, give me a skullduggery check.
Mhm.
It's a Chav has a perception 2 with a proficiency die, so that's an average difficulty with a challenge of 1.
He actually has more than I do in skullduggery.
Let's see if we can pull this off.
So wait, okay, you're rolling it. Okay.
Oh,
Damn! That's
Above
pretty.
table, this is for the best.
Honestly, Yeah.
That's a good point. Chav, what are we seeing? Because you mentioned behind the scenes that you're donning some new gear.
You did what I am. Chev has doffed several pieces of his equipment. Let me scroll down the list. He's no longer wielding his holdout scatter blaster, but he is donned with a. So yeah, everybody knows about the mechanical right arm, but on his left hand he has an exo glove. He is wearing a. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Coromandane SVT 300 stun cloak. He is now wielding a heavy blaster rifle. He is no longer wearing his mechanic's utility suit. He is wearing his ISB naval flight suit. He has put away also the targeting goggles that he uses, his data pad, his pair of macro binoculars, and his emergency med pack, which I'm only okay with that because we have the good doctor here. But that being said, he is moving a little bit slower because it's kind of he is quite literally wearing probably a vest, and then it looks like bulky bracelets and then bulky bits around his boots. Chav is wearing weights.
Nice weighted gear.
Mm-hmm.
Rock over here doing the rock lead thing. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, so you probably would have had that moment, like holding you, and then brings you in, and it's just like the hug is weird because it looks like almost like he's patting you down too. It's like it's so awkward.
It's supposed to be, and like he's being awkward about it too. Like just kind of like has this thing, one-handed pat on the back, and there's a heavy blaster rifle between them, and there's just like
He just kind of like brings you back. He just brings you back to the shoulder thing, and then it's
The
just
hip-
like starts.
It's the hip,
like,
the hips out hug.
adjusting your shit, like your collar and your vest, and it's just like picking up, and then he like sits on your goggles and just kind of.
hey, all right.
Oh, it's
I need that
adorable.
clear.
It's clear. It's fine. It's all right.
By the way,
I can see everything.
by the way,
Nothing
you
gets
guys
past me.
look like you see half of things anyway.
I'm glad you two have made up your differences.
We ain't made up shit.
Oh, never mind.
It was weird, and I felt something, but we're not going to talk about it.
So I will say that basically, Chav now has a surveillance tagger on him.
Sounds good.
Also, because if I'm not mistaken, Chav, your arm is all the way like the mechanical part of it extends to like the torso area or the stuff on the shoulder.
Stops at the
Hey, go-
shoulder, I believe.
Yeah.
Stops at the shoulder. Okay, that's fine. I would say that you take advantage of the fact that you have like the arm out and the vest and everything, and you would have just like taken advantage of that little opening there, and the fact that you actually have metal on you, that it would make it even easier to just make sure that thing sticks. Because you're not.
Oh, I have a utility belt as well, so you could probably just fit it in one of them pockets.
Yeah.
All right. So we get a successful tagging between Guy and Chav. Unnoticeable. Camden turns to the rest of his team as they begin preparing to disembark towards the crypt. Sindhu, Yo, Neela, Lim, Khaleesi. Let's prepare for entry. Bell and Ezekiel. Finish preparations here at Command Base. We'll see you inside. The team begins to coalesce into one another and watching as Rawl takes the point and zooms off ahead. They begin to follow in tow with the security entourage and taking up points in front and behind them. Meanwhile, as you begin to leave, Chav, you spot Dove giving you just a quick wave. I'm going to maintain vigilance over these two and make repairs to my ship while you guys are inside. I think it's best we keep eyes out here for the time being.
Absolutely. I mean, stay in contact.
Will do. Be careful in there. I
I'll
don't
tell
get
him
it.
what to do. Locks his heavy blaster rifle and starts walking away.
You'll hear a guy as well as like, unless you're dying, don't call me.
All right, you guys make your way inside the tomb on the right, where the crypt
If you're
chasers
dying,
initially.
definitely call me.
Rawl, since you were the first one to make entry into the tomb, give me. Are you being cautious upon entry, or are you just zooming on in?
How far is the tomb from the ship to give an idea?
It would have been about 200, 300 feet away from the command center.
Okay. Maintaining a height of 10 meters above the ground until he gets to the entrance. Yeah, he's being cautious.
Okay.
He will not venture too far inside, but he will step inside the entrance, yes.
Okay. As you enter, go ahead and give me a. Give me a perception check. This is going to be hard difficulty. It is low light, unless you have glow rods with you. That'll
Yes.
add. You do? Okay.
They do glow rods. If they didn't, they do, because that would be part of guys like starter kit.
There's a glow rod built into Chav's exo glove.
Nice.
So literally, as he's holding his heavy blaster rifle, it's just pointed that way.
A little kill team. I like it. So cool. All right. So it's
Dude,
going to be
his
a.
glove is awesome. I can't wait to show you guys. Not that I'm wishing for combat, but I'm gonna be excited if there's combat.
It's going to be a hard difficulty with the 2 setback die from your trigger. 1 failure, 3 threats to beat.
Inception. What's your inception? Oh.
Ooh. You do have a couple of triumphs in your pocket.
I have 2. Yes. I will use 1 to succeed, keeping those 2 threats.
Okay.
How tall is this doorway?
It is 50 feet tall. It is massive and made of a plasteel material.
And is it an entryway or is it a door?
It's a door. The door is already slightly ajar. It's opened about 15, 20 feet wide. Yeah, about 15, 20 feet wide.
Okay. Yeah. Still maintaining that level of 10 meters. He will enter survey.
All right. As you enter, you succeeded the perception check with 2 threats. Okay. Go ahead and give me. Give me a daunting discipline check.
Sure. Nice.
I really hate you. Give me my fucking difficulties.
No. I refuse. Only at the opportune moment will I fall to the dark side, if need be.
And you succeeded. Okay. So the discipline check is in response to a sudden as you enter the sound of your hoverboard, the thrumming from the thrusters on your hoverboard begin to reverberate off the walls in this chamber, the antechamber of the tomb. And then as you cross the threshold, suddenly a wave of air, a burst of air washes over you as a swarm of Shiraks rush out, sweeping past you and disperse off into the sky above. That sudden flock racing past you doesn't manage to catch you off guard. However, the crew behind you kind of stops in reaction as they witness this and watch how you proceed going forward.
Buried treasure planet like he will bob and weave through all these Shryrak. Yeah. Is it one giant room that he's entering, or is it a long corridor?
As you enter into the as you pass through this threshold, you enter into the antechamber of the tomb. Standing at the precipice of the entryway, you take stock as you're standing in a 1,000 foot long, 800 foot wide antechamber. The corridor of the down, alternating down the span of this corridor is massive towering pillars that uphold the structure above you. Further down towards the center, a altar-like procession sits, where another facade of a statue of a Dark Lord kneeling with a what appears to be a blade in hand, and another hand hovering just beneath the blade itself. As you enter, the hand begins to emit what appears to be a flame, blue in color, as it reacts to your presence. You proceed further in. You all begin to take notice as all along the walls and the pillars is scrawlings all in Sithese, the language long dead to the galaxy, unrecognizable to all of you, but what these hieroglyphs, that is a hard word to say.
Hydroglyphs, yeah.
Hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs. There you go. Hieroglyphs. Fuck. Words, man. These hieroglyphs seem to tell the story of this Dark Lord. As Camden enters in, it's good to see you again, Dark Lord. Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Darth Bane. This is his tomb. Do any of you know the story of Darth Bane?
What would I roll to know this?
This would be a formidable lore check. Let me go ahead.
Shot.
give it to the table again.
4 successes, 2 advantages.
Smash. Damn good.
Cha-ching.
Let's see. Whoo!
That's a tough check. That's tough.
Yeah, unfortunately, not much information to be gleaned. Again, it's a controlled source of information by Palpatine. You wouldn't want this information getting out. As you try to rack your brain, Camden speaks up. Not to worry. This type of information isn't public knowledge. But Darth Bane was the Sith who implemented the rule of 2. Thousands of years before now, the galaxy was wrought in war and conflict. There used to be thousands of Sith Lords, thousands of Jedi. Darth Bane here was responsible for consolidating power, reducing the infighting down to only 2 Lords of the Sith, a master and an apprentice. It's quite fascinating, really.
Quite, foolish as well, I would say. If the Jedi were going to number in the thousands still, and you were but 2, and you opposed those thousands, you had to know they had the numbers advantage.
Well, that's also another curious point. Darth Bane was not alive not that long ago. Before. A couple hundred years before. Now. This was the Jedi. The time I speak of is during the Jedi Civil War and the 100-Year Darkness. Preceded 6,000 years before us. But Bane had witnessed and learned of this constant infighting and implemented the rule of 2 to consolidate and prevent the internal destruction of the Sith Empire.
As I understand it, it was almost tradition for an apprentice to rise up and kill their master in the Sith.
You would be correct in that.
Perhaps he did it just to eliminate competition.
Some would argue that, others would say he did it as a means to create a honed focus to ensure that his teachings would move on and keep the Sith Empire focused on their agendas.
I mean, can you call 2 people an empire? I'm just
Not
saying.
really. No. I don't think so.
But what we seek is further, deeper within the tombs. We scoured as much of the tomb as we could and found just preliminary teachings of what Darth Bane had to offer. There's nothing else that survived the pilferage of this planet. So let us continue, shall we?
I'm interested in learning more.
If you can glean any more information from these walls, feel free. My team will continue the excavation and hopefully uncover secrets deeper within.
Best will keep his eyes on the walls and see if he can glean any nuggets of info, but he's really more or less looking out for threats.
All right. At this point, the dig team begins to disperse throughout the tomb. They kind of beeline it for the area that they had previously investigated. You guys doing anything else, or we just observing the team, or we investigating further?
Go ahead.
If I may, when it comes to Guy, he would have proceeded to ask for whatever scanning data that the team of the excavators had already gathered of the tombs below and the sections where the party is going, etc. He would have asked if they could get that data to Gal so he could create a holographic projection of it. He would have potentially used his own sensors of underground tunnels and terraforming to just like cross-reference them. Another thing that he would have done eventually is he would have set up and programmed an Arcade Industries Recon remote, which is basically a spherical little droid that travels up to 20 kilometers per an hour and can stay up to 12 miles and convey video imagery 360 to the source. So he would have activated this little sphere and then it would have just sent it down to follow the party. Potentially
A Stargate Destiny Kino.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Camden would have forwarded the initial scans and imagery that he had and his team had uncovered so far to you guys, so you would all be able to navigate what they've discovered so far. The team hadn't been able to get down to the deeper levels of the tomb yet. They're still looking for the entry point. And as they as they're moving about the tomb, you see Camden and Neela pulling out their general scanners as well and begin to scan the walls. Yes.
Are they entering rooms first?
No, they're passing by the rooms. You get a sense that they've scanned all the rooms, which in this chamber, in the antechamber, there's 4 rooms in total. 2 along each of the walls, both east and west. And then there's a spiral staircase that leads up to the upper levels behind the statue with the glowing sword.
Okay, I just want our group going into new rooms first.
Gotcha.
Before that.
You get, as you're watching these guys, you get a sense that they've long since already scoured these chambers that they're walking right past, and they're scanning the walls in between these 2 chambers on the left side. And they get to they meet up at the center, and you watch as their eyes light up as they identify the anomaly in the wall. But they lower their scanners and begin to read over the chamber wall, the wall along this chamber, looking for context or clues. What are all of you guys doing?
Raw still in the main antechamber, observing the hieroglyphs, kind of in a clockwise fashion, kind of going up as high as they go. He's also going to pull out the cracked kyber crystal that he received. And he's going to see if there's any kind of resonance occurring.
If I remember correctly, this crystal was green.
Yes.
Previously, actually, give me a perception check.
Sure.
Average difficulty 2 setback.
It starts bleeding red just from being here.
Holy shit! Okay.
Great.
That's a good roll.
No point to use that triumph.
As you pull out the crystal to take a look at it, see if there's any resonance changes or whatnot, it just looks like a rock right now.
Okay. Based on the hieroglyphs that he's seeing here, is this from the Sith, as in the race the Sith, or is it specifically from the Dark Order of the Sith?
So Darth Bane was buried about 20 years BBY.
Mhm.
You get a sense that these glyphs on the walls are not carved by Sith hands, as no one has seen Sith purebloods in thousands of years.
Okay.
So this is probably secondhand knowledge that's been scrawled on these tombs by the surviving members of the Sith.
And with his studies of the Night Sisters, would he be able to ascertain what these glyphs mean, or what their gist of what they're saying?
You can't discern their meaning per se, but you can. The main antechamber kind of tells a story of Darth Bane. It speaks of a powerful warrior. A warrior that once was encased in a powerful artifact that would drain him of his essence, but it would be, in return, it would provide him an untold level of power, allowing him to defy death, to withstand fatal blows, and eventually tells the story of how he succumbed to death finally after his body was obliterated. These are hieroglyphs, so it's not words that you're getting. It's a story of his time as a Dark Lord. You're able to ascertain that information after studying it for a moment.
Last but not least, he's gonna pump out his sense power to see if there's past the party, if there's anything else residing here.
Give me a perception check with your force abilities.
So 2 force die.
Yep. This is going to be
One perception check and the force die.
yes. This is you're trying to perceive beyond your physical point, so it's a perception skill check still, supplemented by your sensibility. This is going to be daunting difficulty. Still 2 setback die because of your trigger. I'm going to cash in a dark side token to upgrade to 1 challenge.
anything.
Yeah, we'll stick with that. That's fine. That's fair. Woo! Shit! Oh God! Remember, any force points or any light token points that you generate count as an additional success to an ability check.
Okay.
So, just additional chances of success to beat the difficulty.
Yeah, don't have anything that can help here with that. That's fine. Okay, perception and force die.
All right, you have 2 additional points. You can suffer strain to cash in that dark side point as an additional success.
I will utilize my triumph because I don't want to be caught unawares. Let's see.
All right.
Right, 2 light side. That's 4. Oh, that'd just be 5. Will I get corruption if I try to use this dark side point?
It's been about 4 days. I'll say this one time, no.
Cool. I will suffer strain. So, 1 strain.
It's just dipping a toe in the dark side. It's not that big a deal.
Just peering into the shadows, not really, diving head first this time. You said to re-roll? Or they're just going to automatically consider that to be a success?
Say again?
Do you want me to re-roll that proficiency die?
No. You just cash in that a dark side token or a light side token to consider that dark side point a success.
So that's 6 then total.
No, 5. Oh yeah, then with a triumph, yeah. Okay. All right. With that, you extend your senses out beyond the presence of you and your team, reaching out down deeper into the tomb. The initial wave of energy that washes over you as you extend into this tomb, you become immediately aware of malice, hatred, intent, and hunger. As you extend yourself into these ranges, the whispers intensify. Soon cut off by the howls of creatures deep within the tomb.
Roll initiative.
Right. Upon hearing that animalistic cry, Rawl immediately descends and heads towards Trav. Disembarking from his hoverboard.
Moments before this howl begins, the rest of you, unaware of these whispers that are occurring, Camden and Sindhu had just identified a hidden mechanism, and as they activate this mechanism, you watch as this section of the wall that they've been hovering over begins to finally descend into the floor. And as that happens, you hear as the wall begins to reverberate. And that's when the howls reach your ears deep from within. Not this wall in front of you, but the wall. As you take a look around, 3 doors had also opened up along the walls on the east wall. And as you look in those thresholds, you see 3 pairs of glowing red eyes slowly beginning to emerge from those doors. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, guys.
Well, shit.
It's
tried.
Cauldron time.
I tried to make this easier for us, but
How do I roll initiative?
This is going to be a vigilance initiative from everybody.
Hell yeah.
Ew, gross. I don't like that.
No, I finally like this choice.
One success.
Hey, one success is still a success.
What emerges from these doors is what is known as a toccata.
Jesus.
3 wolf-like creatures created from Sith alchemy. Initiative. Roll.
might should go into Redcon disembarking from the hoverboard.
You already said you disembarked. Sorry, buddy.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Fine, get back on and waste my maneuver.
Can I get the name of that creature again? I just want to see a picture of this thing.
Toccata. Tuk'Ata. They are terrifying looking creatures.
Oh God.
Massive. They're the size of dire wolves.
I want one.
Me too.
Roll to pet.
Yep, I want one.
It's a fucking blink dog with less chill.
These look like shit in Ark Survival Evolved. What are they called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What are they called? Shadowmane.
They also-
It's so funny. I've fought one of these before, but in Star Wars 5e, it almost killed me. Good luck, guys.
All right, who are we missing? We are missing Guy from initiative. Let's get him added in.
I rolled, and also I'm suffering 2 straining. I'm adding 2 more successes because of my 2 rapid reaction.
Ooh.
So that'll be
Okay.
Successes for more.
2 successes,
3.
or 3 successes, 3 advantages. So that'll put you right after the first slot. Okay. Insert new PC. We'll remove that old one. There we go. Who else am I missing? Ego.
I have to go.
Oh, you're taking off? Sorry.
Yes. No, no.
right,
it's fine.
right before.
It was beautifully timed, though. Like, who am I missing? Ego? No, I have to go.
All right. Ego is what is Ego doing? Running for cover?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is on brand, to be
Okay.
honest.
That's fair. All right. We'll get Ego hidden from these things. You guys, Ren, thanks for joining us. Sorry you weren't able to do more, but we'll get you next time. All right. Welcome to Korriban.
This is fine. This is great.
All right. We'll see you. Okay.
Also, I'm okay with if when the Howls things happen with all of guys tracking and everything, if you want me to justify that guy decided to like meet up with a party, realizing that this may have not been necessarily just hey, let's go look at the caves and then run, but it's like, oh no, this may be like a full-on thing.
That's fair.
So if,
Yeah,
if just to because otherwise it may just be me just outside listening to tunes and dancing with Gal, which Guy would tell me. But at the same time, happy to support and be another.
Yeah, I would say you would have gotten the life readings of the Tukata as they started merging, so that would have caught your attention.
The bioscanner probably would have been like, "What the hell is that?" And Gal is just like, "Whoa. Like, get the fuck out! Like, go ahead, just I'll be on the ship." So Gal is probably staying with the ship, helping with repairs, keeping an eye on things outside, and
All right.
Guy goes.
Gale going crazy, trying to figure out, like get Guy to do shit. Meanwhile, Guy's just having his own Star-Lord moment.
All right. That being said, let's go ahead and take our quick 5-minute break while you guys get situated. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Get yourselves refreshed on beverages. Take a bathroom break. Whatever you got to do. We'll be back in 5 minutes to continue this session. Don't go anywhere. All right, let me go ahead and get the first player of combat to take their turn as we get right into it. Who would like to go first?
If somebody's got something cool to set up,
I mean, I would advantage from going first.
then I vote Guy. Don't tell Chav I said that.
He already knows.
No.
I would love to activate my defense shield, but
That's up to you.
I'm going last, apparently.
I mean, it's the initiative slots are interchangeable. You're not beholden to a certain initiative.
Yeah.
Do my
So we have 2 PCs up first, so that could be the pair of you guys.
drones have to have an initiative as well? Because
They can share your guys' initiative. Just,
they have your own action. So
Yeah, they'll share your initiative just to not bog down the initiative.
Cool.
Because, I mean, they can act on their own, but if you want them to execute certain commands, you're gonna have to give them orders, which will only take like an incidental, but still. All right, who's going first?
That'll be me.
All right. The current range is, said the chamber was 800 feet across. So yeah, they're about 800 feet away from you. So that's going to be long range.
800 feet long range. Okay.
As you guys are set up on the west wall.
Okay. Please tell me I have this active. How many targets?
So far, 3.
So far, 3.
I'm going to say you are outside, so you will have to spend a maneuver to get inside, which will put you at... So you would be at extreme range, but you are on the way. So I will say it takes 1 maneuver to get into the antechamber, which will put them at 400 feet from you. So that would be medium range.
Okay, that's all I need. So I would say that Guy thinks that he's going to settle down and start prepping for everything. He like literally is getting everything ready. Puts the bioscanner next to him. He's about to he puts one side of his music with the equivalent of like, I don't know, Katy Perry. And then it's about to put the other one when he just hears a little beep. And then he just turns to the bioscanner and he just beep and another beep and another thing. And then he just leans forward and he sees this thing, looks at Gal, and he goes, "Stay here." And that's when he just bolts. And Guy is literally running. And as he runs and he's going into the chamber, he basically reaches under his jacket, his pilot jacket, and you just see him sort of do a slide as he slides down in the sand, entering into this chamber with 2 pistols in hand. And as he spots these things, he just... I'm debating whether or not Guy would just shoot at these things without knowing whether or not what they are.
Well, let me give you a quick description of what these creatures look like. They are, just to influence how you guys would react. The creature's hide is obsidian scale. They have a long whip-like tail with spines protruding from the base of the skull all the way down their back, down to the base of their tail. They have a long canine structured like cranium with large protruding fangs like a crocodile, extending from both the lower and upper jaw. Or is alligator the one that has the exposed teeth? One of the two. razor-like claws on all on four as it stands on four legs, and it is snarling as it enters the antechamber.
I know that there's no hold action in Star Wars,
Correct.
but I'm going to pretend that Guy just has a moment of evaluating these things, seeing them enter the chamber, and the intent, which seems pretty much is these things are on the hunt. They're on the prowl.
Yeah, you
And,
guys have never seen anything like this. These creatures are.
yeah, I would assume so. But I feel like the concept of a predator, am I safe to assume that it is perceived on these things? Like as I'm seeing them, it's like, yeah, this is a predator,
Mhm.
and we're the meal. So with that being said, I'm going to use my dual blaster pistols to shoot. And I'm going to take 2 strain to avoid increasing the difficulty of a ranged light check attack with 2 weapons.
Okay.
So I'm aiming at one of these things with
The
my
closest is going to be to the right of you. The other two are further down the chamber.
great. So I'll take my aim at that,
Okay.
and I'm going to attempt to
Go ahead and upgrade the difficulty by 1 as you are targeting an adversary.
Okay.
And they are at medium range.
They're at medium range, which is the range of my weapon. And because nobody has taken a turn yet, I get a boost die. I forgot whether or not how to do this. Do I need to click on one of them?
Yes, down in the so when you click your weapon, it'll bring up the dice tray and give you an option to target somebody.
Did it though?
So you'll be targeting Tukata number 1. Are you clicking on the dice for your weapon?
I'm trying to sort that out. Sorry. Which one is that for the weapon, you said?
You go to your weapons tab, click on the dice for your weapon, and it'll bring up a combat tray. And it'll give you an option to target anybody.
Weapons tab. If I click on my weapon. Ah, I see. And you told me I'm targeting who? Whichever?
Tukata 1.
They have all question marks. I don't think you've revealed them to us.
That's fair. Yeah, let me get the known tag on these things. There we go. There we go. All right. So it's Tukata, Tukata 2, and Tukata 3. So just Tukata.
Okay. Tukata. So I'm doing Tukata, just a plain Tukata.
Yep. Upgrade with a challenge of 1.
Challenge of 1. That's easy, I'm assuming.
No, so it's the range difficulty,
Yeah.
and then click the upgrade button for for the difficulty. Is it up? Because you're targeting an adversary.
What is the button that I need to press after medium? Sorry.
The challenge, the upgrade challenge. So the purple to red die.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's already there.
Oh, Oh yeah, when you target a creature, the adversary it'll do it automatically. There we go. Cool.
Yeah, and then I get an extra boost because of the fact that I'm doing it right now, and they haven't taken any turn. Huh? Great, cool. All right. I think that should be it. Oh!
Jesus. Okay.
And that's only with,
Annihilate him.
and that's only with one blaster.
That's you're dual wielding,
Yeah, dual blaster pistols.
so you can cash in 3 advantages to. Oh shit! Is it the same ability for both weapons?
Yeah.
And up, the difficulty goes up by 1 if you're dual wielding.
No, it doesn't because I took 2 strain because of my ability. It's called Guns Blazing. As an incidental, I suffer 2 strain to avoid increasing the difficulty of a ranged light check to attack with 2 weapons.
Okay. All right. Cool. Then you can cash in an additional hit with as if the auto fire feature. So that costs 2. Yeah, 2 advantages to cash in an additional hit.
2 advantages to cash an additional hit. Yeah. I'll take it.
And you do have a crit on the table as well
Hmm.
with the triumph.
I also have a what do you call it? Lethal blow. So that's going to be a +10 for any
Okay.
critical.
Damn. Did it roll add the +10? It did not. So 15. Sudden jolt. The target drops whatever's in its hand. So it has nothing in its hands. It drops nothing. Okay. That's 10 plus another 10 with the additional hit.
Hmm.
So that's 20, 16. Okay. Good hit. Good hit. That's your action and your maneuver. Anything else?
No. So do I roll again for the second hit, or did you?
No,
just...
it's auto calculated into the attack.
Okay, perfect.
So it just gives you an additional hit with the damage that you already rolled. All right.
I think that's all I have, right? Because I had a maneuver to move.
To get into range, yep. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say that's it.
Okay. Next player on the initiative, please.
I suppose I'll go next. Raw always has his shock gloves on his hands. So since these guys kind of just came out as a surprise and he needs maneuver ability, he's going to charge forward and make a brawl check on the nearest one.
Okay. Mind you, you have 2 setback die to your combat check from your trigger, and then
Which one's the closest one? 1, 2, or 3?
2 would be since you would have been center of the room. 2 would have been the closest, so that would take 1 maneuver to get to them.
Okay. 1 maneuver. Engage.
And as you close the distance, go ahead and give me a coercion check. Average difficulty.
I'll do that first. Coercion. I have something for that. Hold on. So
And
many.
then I'm going to upgrade the difficulty by 2, as they have the intimidating 2 talent.
That's fine. I will suffer 3 strain to downgrade it to easy. So suffer 3 strain, downgrade it to easy. Roll.
It's not easy. You just downgrade the intimidating factor, so it's still an average difficulty. You just remove the challenge rating that he had in with his passive. So it's an average difficulty with the setback of 2.
May suffer a number of strain to downgrade difficulty of coercion checks or upgrade difficulty when targeted by.
But their intimidating rating made it a challenge of 2, so just an average difficulty. So you downgraded the challenges. It's still an average difficulty.
Gotcha. Okay. Very well.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. That's going to attack on another. You are fearful of this creature. That, I believe, adds on 2 more setback die. Let's go to the fear mechanic here. Should have had that opened up already. My bad. Fear mechanic. Combat. Here we are. And then go ahead and target them with your brawl check. You're still able to do what you need to perform in combat, but there's going to be some add-ons here. Once I find it. Combat. Assist. Need fear. It should calculate the adversary feature as well as its defense rating. Fear mechanic is a dual Yavin for sure.
Okay.
Not usual Yavin. Fucking beyond the rim. There we go. It's a.
I have frenzied attack, so I will suffer 2 strain to upgrade to give me 2 more proficiency die.
Is it a passive?
I mean, it's an action, but how can you do an action and an action to do that? It doesn't make sense.
What ability is this?
Frenzied attack.
Frenzied attack. That's with the Marauder, right?
Yeah, the Iron Gun Marauder.
I'm making. It's okay. It's part of the melee attack action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Brawl. Engage. Still pull.
And then add 2 setback die for the trigger. And because their intimidating rating is 2, another 2 points of setback for the intimidation.
It's a big ass pull.
Yeah, okay. That's right. The character adds setback to each action he takes during the encounter. Okay. So 3 failures, 2 threats. Oh wait, no, that's from the challenge. Okay, what's the combat check?
Making sure I have everything correct. Intimidating, yeah. That's an action. Sure. Okay. All right. Holy shit!
Fuck.
What is that?
Yo.
I am going to use my incidental to re-roll that entire thing because I have whatchamacallit, natural brawler.
Okay. Very cool. You can re-roll 1 combat check per encounter.
Yes. Engage, build pool. Doop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 setbacks, people. That's
Yeah, buddy. Do I have the table pulled up? Yes, I do. Okay.
All right.
Come on. Roll it.
It's loading. It's a lot of dice.
Damn.
Very well.
It's worse. All right, no, that's better. That's better.
That's better, but still failed.
All right. Yes. Being that you've never encountered this creature, this type of creature before, it's overwhelming. You're overwhelmed. Your senses are overwhelmed by the power of this creature. It is very much dark side. It's a dark side entity, and it as you close the distance, it's glaring red eyes locked in on you. And as you rush up, I'll with those 2 advantages, I'll give you I'll give you that you immediately take notice as the other 2, despite the one that just got shot by Guy, ignores Guy, and all 3 pairs of eyes lock in on you.
Don't have to give that to me. You could definitely hold on to that one.
That'll end your turn.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. We're going to go ahead and start with the one that you just attacked. It's going to make a row of teeth attack against you.
I will impose 2. Says once per session. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I guess it's not a reaction thing.
I don't like how you worded that. Why wouldn't you call it a bite attack? Why is it a row of teeth attack, Tarzan? Why?
Wouldn't we like to know, other boy?
Would. Absolutely.
If you have watched the show Wheel of Time, the eyeless, the fade, those things that have just a maw of teeth, yeah, that thing. Awesome.
Going to go ahead and cash in that dark side point to create an additional success.
You know, you didn't have to. I just want you to know that. You didn't have to.
I also have a despair that I rolled earlier that I am also going to cash in, as you are now ensnared.
You didn't have to.
You all watch as Rawl is now dragged down into the corridor that this creature just emerged from. You are ensnared for 1 entire round. That'll end his turn, as he is now protected from cover. Next player character in the initiative, please.
What are we thinking, Dr. Best? Do you want to get your shield up before these two go, or do you want me to try to take out at least one of them before these two go? Or did we lose Simite too?
They dragged Dr. Best too. Oh no. Oh no.
Roll.
We weren't even looking.
There was a cloaked stealth fourth one.
It's that chain reaction of like Raw, like he grabs Roll, starts dragging Roll, Roll grabs Best, starts dragging Best. Eventually, it's just like a whole long line of every single character just being dragged down the goddamn place.
All right. I guess go ahead, Chav, and we'll get to Best when he gets back.
Alrighty.
Just keep things moving.
Going to hope that I am in as far away from these things as possible.
You'll be from your side to their side. It's 800 feet, so yeah, you're about medium range. No, long range.
I was gonna say, could I back up to long range?
Small question, real quick, because
Yeah.
I'm ensnared. Did I drop the heavy repeating blast rifle and my hoverboard?
Well, your usual thing is you sling the hoverboard on your back, so no.
Right. What about the blaster rifle?
Did you want to drop it?
I didn't want to, but I'm ensnared, and it's not like you can just hang on to that.
Hmm.
Well, it depends on how it's snaring you.
I could have.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Well, I'll say that this thing clamped down on your leg and started dragging you down the corridor it came out of.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do I suffer penalties shooting at that one?
It's behind full cover, so you can't even target it right now.
Fuck. Alrighty. Can I target the one that guy fucked up?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I will do so. Before I do that, I will use my maneuver for my ace gunner feature, True Aim, which gives me all the benefits of the aim property, but also for free upgrades one of my ability dice into a proficiency die.
Okay.
So
That's pretty dope. That's
at
pretty
long
dope.
range, which one is it that you talking
Tucata.
about? Number 2 or just the
Two.
first one?
Just Tucata, yeah.
Okay. Build pool. Cool. There's my setback die. I need this in there. Just double checking. All right. Let's get it on.
Nice.
Hey.
Ooh, and a despair.
No. There's no despair. What? No. Cover your eyes.
Interesting. All right, you get a hit. That's 11 damage. You have 3 advantages, so you can crit.
Would that make so if I crit right now, would that be better or worse than just triggering auto fire and doing all that damage again?
It's up to you. You could do another 11 points of damage if you want to, or you can crit. So what's more important to you?
Both. I'm gonna try to do the extra damage at this point.
All right, so that's an additional 11 points of damage on this Tucata.
Yeah, see if I can take this thing the fuck out.
So that's 22 points minus its soak, 18 points.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. The aim feature gives what, a boost die?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just roll a boost die really quick? Because I didn't put that in there because I'm an idiot.
Yep, go ahead.
Not that it's going to be anything too crazy.
That's 12 points.
And an additional advantage. So if that's the case, then I will auto fire again.
That's 2 points, 2 advantages to activate auto fire.
And then
So
2 more. So
you generated 4 advantages. Okay.
now
Yeah.
with the new damage of 12, that's 36 points of damage on this thing.
God damn.
And you bet your ass I'm going to do all that because there's a freaking despair in play.
Yeah, that's fair. Interesting.
Is it dead?
I mean, unless I've been running it wrong this whole time, why is the ring only half full? Are you guys seeing the wound threshold on the ring? No, you're not seeing it at all. All right, cool. I mean, the wound bar is cracked, so I'm assuming that means it's dead. So we're gonna go with that. Yeah, that's fair. You unload into this motherfucker. Never seeing a creature built like this before. Your initial instinct, unload everything you got into it, and unload you do, as your weapon runs out of ammunition.
Question. Did it take all 3 shots to kill this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if it died on like shot number 1 or shot number 2, then auto fire, I can actually move those hits to other targets. So
Within, oh yeah, well, let's see. I believe there's restrictions to it, but
yeah, they got to be like within engaged range or something of the original target.
Yeah, the other one is another 5 to 600 feet away from that one, so you wouldn't have been able to get to it.
Fair.
That being said, yeah, you just unloaded into that Tukata, and your barrel's glowing red. The power pack completely drained. It'll take a maneuver to reload, I believe. Yep. Interact with gear. Yeah. So or no, is it an incidental? I think it might be an incidental. I'm not seeing it on there.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
We can move to the next person's turn.
That will end Chav's turn. We lost one Tukata. Let's go ahead and remove him from the initiative. Tukata 3 is going to retreat back into the corridor that it's emerged from, as it's going to try and link up with its pack mate. With that, it gets it's going to use its action to maneuver to engaged range with Rawl and Tukata 2. And that will end their turn. Dr. Bess, are you with us?
He's paralyzed with fear.
All right. Okay. We'll go ahead and have him. What would work for the situation right now? He wanted to get his shield up, so we'll have him activate his personal shield. That takes an action. That increases his rating. Okay. I believe it increases your. What is that? Okay, yeah, he's got it up. Okay. Increases his rating to both melee and range to defensive 2. He's going to see, after seeing one Takata get obliterated and the other 2 disappear into the corridors that they emerged from after Rawl was taken, he's going to rush up, as he calls out to the rest of you, to rescue Rawl. That'll end his turn. We're back at the top of the initiative. Who would like to go next?
I mean, I can go again, unless Raul, do you want to try to do something first?
Can Guy get to me in one maneuver?
I mean, can I get within medium? Can I angle myself so that I can be still in medium range, but like get into view? Because I know that you said that the creature is out of sight.
Correct.
So would Guy be able to maneuver so that he could get himself to get?
You can get to the threshold with one maneuver of the corridor or the passage that the Tukata had retreated into. He used his action to attack roll, so he couldn't get that far.
Great. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. You get to the corridor or the tunnel that the Tukata disappeared down into, and you see him dragging Rawl down the corridor. So you have a line of sight on him.
All right.
The tunnel descends at like a 5% downgrade, so not too steep, but enough to get him cover from long range fire.
All right. I'm once again going to be doing this with my 2 weaponry.
Okay.
I have a question. What does the triumph give me again?
It can give you a additional success, or you can cash it into crit. Jesus, I need you to chill out, dude.
No, sir. This is my job. I get paid for this. If I fail at this, it's not good in the reviews on Yelp.
Okay, so that's 4 advantages. You can crit with a 2. Or you can cash in additional hits with those advantages.
The question is, with the current hit, the thing is still up?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
These things are pretty beefy.
What does the crit get? Well, I get a crit because I have the advantages.
Yeah, you can only because it's a single fire blaster pistol. You can only get 1 additional hit with it.
Yeah.
So you can, and you still crit with it too. So you could get your crit and you can get your additional hit.
Because I'm using the dual, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can get the additional hit, or I can get the crit.
You can get both.
I can get both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a plus 10 to his crit.
Yeah.
That's a stinger, and increase the difficulty of the next check by 1. Good hit. That's 22 damage with the additional hit. So that's a 22 minus his soak. Oof. You watched as your initial shot from the last Tukata. You watched as the blaster bolt kind of deflects partially off of the hide of this creature. Realizing it, you line up your sights and you fire, impacting one bolt right after the other with pinpoint accuracy. And you watch as the 2 blaster bolts pierce through the hide and inflict a grievous wound onto this creature, but it is still alive.
Yeah, I will say that probably like it's like Guy is in this. It's literally on rescue mode. So it's like the moment that he saw Raul being dragged and get out of sight, the guy is like back on his feet. He literally is running. There's like he knows that the terrain is sandy. He just uses his feet to like slide, hit a wall just to get in the angle, and it's just literally like his weapons are one above the other. He makes the first shot, and then he extends to the other side, and then sees the repelling of it, and shoots at the same spot. And that's like where he is right now.
All right. That'll end your turn.
I believe so.
All right. Next player in the initiative, please.
Alrighty. I will go. First, as an incidental, I will spend a destiny point to obtain a frag grenade from my utility belt. Skill. Since I am grappled, I will
Ensnared.
ensnared. Can't really move anywhere, so as a maneuver, I will summon my vibro axe to my hand. And as an action, I will commit one force point to utilize control to upgrade the difficulty of the pool for whoever attacks me.
Make sure you activate your conditions immobilized and prone for this situation.
Yes. Let me find that.
It's at the top of your character sheet.
Yep. Prone. Immobilized. Okay.
And then
Yeah. In one hand, he has the frag grenade. In the other hand, his vibrobox, and he has committed a force point to upgrade the difficulty pool once per round, whoever targets him.
Oh, yes. And you had taken 6 points of wounds, by the way. Or 7 with that a success.
Cool. 7. Awesome. All right.
Got the.
That would end my turn. I'm kind of just here waiting for my next.
I like how you have your grenade in hand. That's wild to me. Tukata 3.
Fearful, so
Yeah, we're going full blown crazy with it. I like it. Takata 3 rushes up and is going to also make a bite attack with his rows of teeth at your shoulder, with the one with the axe in hand. Engaged, and because he's within engaged range with his pack mate, he has pack tactics.
of course he
Gives him boost die. You said your ability upgrades the difficulty of their attack?
Yes.
What's the ability?
Hang on. Let me scroll with my many skill trees again.
Is it dodge?
No. It's a force ability. Sense. Yeah, control.
Control. And at what level are you committing? How many dice are you committing to that? Or what? Hold on.
It says commit 1. Like from what I have written here, it says commit a force die.
Okay, commit a force die. So you're committing a force die, so that reduces your force rating availability to 1. And then how it upgrades the difficulty by 1?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, you have to roll force points to activate that, by the way. So, yeah, go ahead and roll your force ability die prior to generate force points. So you need points to activate those abilities.
I will suffer 2 strain to increase it to 3, since that's my passive to do that. So 3. Boop.
Okay, you got 3 points. So yeah, you could have you can activate as many 3 up to 3 points on your sense tree.
I can't really do anything else. I might as well do 2 of them for now.
And that does what?
To commit to upgrading the difficulty of the attack.
Okay, so you're upgrading twice. Got it. Okay. Okay, Takata 3 is going to make his rows of a teeth attack, and that is a success. You are now ensnared again by Takata 3, and you take 8 points of piercing damage. And he's actually going to snatch you away from Takata 1 and drag you further down.
How you doing there, buddy?
I'm hanging.
He's
How much damage is that?
guy, he was at medium range from you. He descends further into the depths. That puts him at long range from you. You watch as this other Takata rushes up from down the corridor, latches onto Rawl's shoulder, and just yanks him down the corridor and breaks your line of sight once again. You get a sense that they're probably dragging him to their den. There we go. That'll end Takata 3's turn. Next player in initiative, please.
Welcome back, Doc. You're up.
Your personal shield is activated. And then you moved up to next to Guy to rescue Rawl.
Okay. Everybody else doesn't look too hurt, do they? Except
These
maybe
Takata
Rawl.
just rushed out and targeted Rawl and dragged him down into the depths below.
Just Rawl is hurt.
Okay.
How high is the ceiling of this corridor, by the
Ooh.
way?
Actually, I forgot to add a die. These things are the corridor that you're in, not that high. It's about 10 feet tall.
Perfect.
Let's roll that force die to see if I can get another. Nope. Fuck you.
I'm gonna rush up, get into engaged range, and attempt to smack one of them.
It would take you 2 maneuvers to close that distance because they are. One Takata 2, which is grievously injured, is right down the corridor. You can get to him, no problem. Mind you, as you close the distance, I'm going to need a coercion check from you.
A coercion check?
Yep. As you close the distance to this creature that you've never seen before, you are subjected to its passive ability, Intimidating 2, which forces you to make a coercion check. If you fail it, it will subject you to the feared condition, which will add 2 setback die to your ability check.
Oh.
That is an average difficulty with a challenge of 2. As a failure.
There's no way I can pass that.
You can still make your attack. However, you have 2 setback die to your combat check, as you are apprehensive about fighting this thing. So it's Takata 2 that you're approaching. It seems significantly injured, and you are in engaged range with it.
Oh, you didn't tell me the damage for Takata 3, by the way.
8 damage.
Okay.
I like how I was subjected you to another ensnare round.
Fine. I have a plan to get out of it.
So, are you gonna add the setback, or do I?
It's a brawl. You're making a brawl check.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll the check, and I'll roll it.
Cut 2.
Dakota 2.
Mm-hmm. And then engage. Yeah.
Engaged.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a
Or
lot
the
of
setback die.
dash there.
All right.
That's already added. Yeah, just roll it as is. Nice.
Wow.
Okay, that's a success. You need 2 more setback die to that. I'll roll it on my end for the fear condition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so that's 1 failure, 3 threats against 4 successes. So three successes, 3 advantages, or 1 threat, 3 successes, 1 threat remaining. That's 10 points of damage.
Gonna go ahead and throw 1 destiny point. I'm gonna spend a destiny point and add my intelligence to it.
There's no need. You killed
Is there
it.
not? Okay.
You rush up, seeing the gaping wound that guy had just created. You can see a pulsing organ just below, just between the rib cage where this wound is, and you just thrust your hand into it, grip the organ, and crush it, and it falls lifeless to the ground.
Seems a little unpacifist-like, but okay.
That's up to you. However you want to do it, unless you want this creature to survive. It is a evil creature. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You
No.
are appeared.
The pacifist thing really extends to things that are more like speaking creatures, like sentient creatures.
I mean, these are unnatural creatures. These were created through dark side alchemy. So, I mean, these aren't actual natural creatures.
Absolutely.
But it's just a fur baby.
Okay. That's gonna be my thing.
All right. That'll end your turn. That creature is dead. Next player in the initiative, Chav.
Sounds like there's only 1 target left.
And he is extreme distance from you now.
Yeah.
Can I move to long range?
He's down below in the catacombs at this point. You're nowhere near able to get a shot off on this thing. You're gonna have to hightail it.
Okay.
So you'll have to do 2 maneuvers, sacrificing 1 action, sacrificing your action to maneuver twice. That'll get you into the court or into the catacombs. But yeah, no line of sight on this creature as it starts to snake down lower into the depths of this tomb.
If I take 2 strain to get a second maneuver,
Unless you have an ability that allows you to surpass the 2 maneuver limit.
oh, that's how that works, huh?
Yeah. There is abilities out there that allows you to do it, but
So I do action maneuver.
oh yeah, yeah, you could. It costs strain to do so, but yeah, you could do it.
Okay, because if I can't move as an action, and that's only like literally using a maneuver, I do have an action that will give me some amount of distance potentially, wherever it'll fit in there.
In order to do an additional maneuver with on your turn, somebody would have had to generate enough advantages to give to you to get a free maneuver.
I'm not asking for a free maneuver. Because I understand that you can do an action and then a second maneuver by taking 2 points of strain.
Right.
That's what I was told last week. So let's start here from where Chav is currently. How far straight can I go?
The 400 meters, 800 meters or feet, which is where the wall or the 3 doors from the west wall appeared. That'll get you to the threshold of that of the corridor.
Okay. Then as my action before I even move, because it's going to give me more feet, or like more distance, I should say, I will be making a average difficulty ranged light check to shoot the grappling hook in my exo glove at a fixed point within medium distance from me, like as far as I can.
Okay.
Oh shit! And then it's a maneuver to actually move there. But so would I get more distance from doing this or just running?
Medium. You have a medium range on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd cover more ground with just 2 maneuvers. Your long range, which the corridor or the antechamber is 800 feet across. You stayed long range, which left you at the west wall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would look cool if you slingshot yourself across the corridor.
But we're not in the business of looking cool right now. We're in the business of trying to actually save our friend. So
yeah,
Always in the business of looking cool while we do the things.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. You could use that. Otherwise, it's just 2 maneuvers to get to reach the corridor. Because
is the partner still in this area?
No, Rawl has it slung it on his back.
Son of a bitch.
It's still
your shit.
I tried to retcon, okay?
It's still a maneuver to get on top of to board a vehicle, but you have that
the vehicle
ability.
Yeah, I would do that as an incidental, and then it's faster than I am. So
that's true. But yeah, so you're at the threshold of the.
It sounds like my hands are tied. I'll use my 2 maneuvers to cover the distance.
Okay. All right.
Which doesn't get me within range, but that's all that I can do.
Yeah, at least you're closer to him. That'll end your turn. Top of the initiative. Who's going next?
I will go first this time. Short range, behind the beast, Louis Beastie. Rawl's going to lob the frag grenade, setting it to impact at the ceiling behind him.
Why?
Why? I'm closing. It's dragging me to his den. Yes. I.e. could be more. Don't want to go in there.
So you want to throw it in front of him, not behind him.
So he's got me by the shoulder.
He's dragging you
that way. Is he dragging me like a dog as he's dragging like pulling on a rope?
This creature is larger than you. It can carry you no problem. It's a massive creature. This thing's it's huge. So it's carrying you by the shoulder. Your legs are dangling by its feet as it's charging through these catacombs.
Gotcha. Then in front of him.
Okay. This is putting you in the blast radius.
Fine, I could take it.
All right. Go ahead and make that ranged attack. 2 setback die for the trigger, 2 setback die from the feared condition.
I mean, it's gonna detonate regardless. So
yeah, this just depends on how close it's gonna detonate.
Okay, gotcha. I'm not.
And I'm looking for damage per se. Yeah, you don't have to worry about damage, or targeting anybody. Just
Short range and build pool.
yeah.
Okay. Oop. And 2 setback die. Do.
I thought you were about to cut off your friends from rescuing you.
I underestimated how big this thing is.
This thing is huge, man. It's like a horse.
He wants to join the dark side.
Leave me be.
Let them take me. I want to go.
Don't tell them how I lived. Tell them how I died.
I don't want to increase the blast damage. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Did it roll?
Wait, no, I haven't yet. Does powerful blast, if I have the talent for powerful blast, it says increase blast damage by explosive weapons and grenades by 1 per rank of powerful blast. Does that mean regardless it's increased now, or I can choose to increase it?
Well, you have to generate advantages to trigger it. So regardless of your ability, you have to be able to generate advantages to trigger those additional features or qualities of a weapon.
I mean, it doesn't say anything like that on the tree.
It's part of the weapon qualities. Blast radius, the blast feature doesn't get activated unless you generate 2 advantages.
Oh,
it's an active quality. You have to activate it.
You're right. Okay. All right. Very well. Do not need it then right now. Well.
Okay.
It detonates regardless.
It does detonate. However, it doesn't necessarily achieve what you were looking for. You throw it at as you're being dragged. You're having a hard time discerning whether or not the section that you're targeting is structurally compromised. So you just throw it in an effort or in a hope to impede its trajectory. The blast does go off, so both you and the Toccata are taking 8 points of blast damage.
Okay.
There was not enough advantages generated to trigger any quality, so it's just the flat 8 damage to both you and the Toccata. Minus your soak.
Double check. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Did not even clock my soak at all. Hang on. Let me readjust this real quick. Let's see. 8 and 8. So I actually have less wounds than I thought. Right. So I should have 3 wounds right now. So that makes it 4. Okay. There you go.
Okay. Plus the 8 from the grenade. All right. And that's it?
Yep.
All right. Next player in the initiative, please.
That would be me.
Sorry, question. Does the blast count as a range?
It's an AoE effect, not a target, not a defense.
Okay. So that wouldn't. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Never mind. You can proceed.
Considering that I have been sort of like keeping up with the trying to keep certain distance with this thing, so how far is this thing from Guy right now?
Oh, he used his maneuver.
That was in medium range.
So he's long range from you right now. As you're descending into the corridor, you'll notice as it starts to snake around. This cavernous corridor was carved by primitive means. So getting line of sight is going to be hard to do, but you can get line of sight on him again. Granted, the Takata will benefit from 3/4 cover as you try to take a shot at him again.
But while being in long range, do I have sight?
Long range is him take. So you're currently facing west. The Takata delved deeper down. So the tunnel it curves down and descends even deeper into the tomb. So we're looking. You wouldn't be able to take a long range shot. You have to get into medium range to get line of sight on him again because it's snaking around. It's not a straight shot.
All right. So if that is the case, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, guy has a moment where when he sees this thing taking off and going further, he considers like putting down one of his blasters so he can grab the rifle on his back, and then he sees the thing disappear, and it's just that cursing in Mirialan under his breath, and just going and trying to catch the medium range. And once again, he's just going guns ready because he knows that the terrain is getting windy. And the moment that he manages to get in medium range and he catches sight of it,
this thing is in full sprint. Yeah, it's not a good sight.
Yeah, so probably that's the thing is guys relying on his reflex of like anticipating the movement of the location and just aiming as soon as he spots. Okay.
All right. Medium range.
Mm-hmm.
Adversary should be already calculated. Its range. It doesn't have a range defense.
I can use my aim because I moved. Never mind.
Correct. Unless you used it prior, but you didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. What was I going to say? Is this the Takata 1?
This is Takata 3. Takata 1 and 2 are dead.
Okay, Takata 3.
I should remove them from the tray. Sorry.
Another thing, too, if I'm dangling from the teeth of this guy, am I still prone?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically.
Don't have feet on the ground.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and make that medium range combat check. 2 setback die. No. 3 setback die with the 3/4 cover.
Yeah. That's the purple one?
No, that's the black D6.
Oh, so I'm adding one of those?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Damn.
For 3/4 cover.
Ooh. Boy. Did I use my triumph?
Not to my knowledge.
No, because I succeeded and I used my advantages, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Jesus.
Nice.
With impunity.
Hey, I'll take what I can get.
The back of Bess's mind, there's always been like this little voice going. Anytime Guy speaks, just like why are we letting him follow us? Why is he here? Why does he have to be here? And then he sees that shot, and he's like,
It's a good hit.
That makes so much sense.
It's definitely a good hit. That's definitely a good hit. All right, cool. You get off 9 points of damage. As you take this shot, you're going to fall prone as you trip on the rough terrain on the floor. You manage to get the hit on this creature, but it comes at a significant cost.
If I may to make it cool, I will say that like guy literally launched himself forward. Like,
To take the
literally,
shot.
he was able, as he was running, there was a moment where the curvature of the tunnel sort of semi-aligned, and he kind of was able to anticipate the next 3 turns. And he knew that the only way that he could get a shot in between was if we got to that spot with the momentum of the speed of the beast moving. He couldn't do it if he didn't jump. And so he literally just threw himself to hit the wall on the other side and literally shot in between and used the wall to just stop the trajectory and then fall on the ground.
How
Full
Master
on
Chief of
slow
you.
motion Max Payne.
Smash.
Yeah, absolutely Max Payne style.
Smash.
Cool as hell.
How
All right.
Spartan 117 of you.
All right.
Just to be clear, when I have dual blasters, there's no option to roll a second roll.
No, it's just calculated in the roll. If you just have to generate 2 success advantages in order to get an additional hit.
Gotcha.
That being said, that'll end your turn. At the start of Takata 3's turn, he, after taking this hit in the hindquarters, you feel its body tense up with aggression as it picks up speed, barreling down this corridor. It's winding left and right. He comes to a sliding turn. His claws dig deep into the stonework, and he just propels himself forward. And he comes to an abrupt stop into another antechamber. You feel like you've traveled hundreds of feet in just seconds. And as he enters this chamber, you are released.
I knew it.
What did you know? What did you know, Doctor?
I know things.
That you got bullshit happening?
As he releases you, the whispers around you intensify. Some of it seems to be directed at you from this creature itself. Its eyes looking at you menacingly, knowingly. The combat counter ends as he walks off into the shadow of the wall behind him.
Don't like it.
I'm gonna be honest. The Raw is not gonna just stand there and let him walk off, because what if he comes back again? He's not gonna just let him walk away if he drops him.
There was a beat. I'll give you this. There was a beat as he stared at you, panting, after letting you go. You probably would, in this moment, scramble to your feet in the confusion. And you could take a swipe at him, by all means.
Okay. I will do so with the Vibro Axe.
Again, you got 4 setback die in total.
Yep.
From the conditions, and then a 5th one from his melee defense.
Okay.
Yes, lash out in anger. This is what we want.
Why are you hurting us, Papa?
We only wanted to bring you sustenance. I am going to suffer wounds. Wait, hang on. Is this a passive? No, it's a maneuver. I'm still in engaged range, yes. I don't have to move anywhere.
No, he's only a few feet from you.
Yeah, okay. maneuver. I will suffer. I will suffer 5 wounds to heal some strain. Let me do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Maybe
5.
no show the screen though.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's the maneuver. As my action, frenzied attack, hack at his leg. So many things. I'm trying to find what I'm looking for.
Come on now. Come on now.
Come on, Lee. Uh. So many things to read. Fuck it. Whatever. I'll just swing and we'll see what happens. Boop. Engaged. Build pool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boop. Finally, where was that at?
Okay, you succeed the hit. Your axe embeds into the flesh of this creature. And as you embed it into the flesh, it does. You do feel the blade make purchase into the bone and tendons of this creature.
Oh,
But
so that was frenzy attack. It's fine. Whatever.
The connection is momentary, and you watch as the creature before you, as its tail snakes into the shadow, the entire creature disperses into a cloud of black smoke.
Well, fuck. Okay, it's irrelevant what damage I do to this thing.
Guy, Dr. Bess, Chav, as you guys enter into the corridor, Bess, the creature that you just felled with your own hands, dissolves into a cloud of smoke on the ground. All 3 creatures no longer remain in the physical realm.
Bess is so fascinated by the biological process that could allow for something like that to happen that he just full on stops and starts pulling out his data pad and starts scanning and wants to figure out what the hell just happened to its body.
Chav is still running to make sure
Fascinating.
that
What in the world?
Chav is still running to make sure that Rawl is not about to be a
Yeah.
human-sized
Pup snack?
sausage link.
Probably, yeah. Guy probably would have, after he fell, he would have just recovered as fast as he could,
Yeah.
and would have continued the pursuit. So,
All right.
yeah.
As you guys try to catch up, I'm going to need I need survival checks. As you guys start getting further into these catacombs, the tunnels start to break off into snake off into multiple directions.
I'm going to say that with those two going
Shrek.
ahead
Survival. There we go.
and them being much more combat adept than he is, he realizes that there are still the people he's meant to protect back there.
Mhm.
So Bess is going to actually take a moment and probably head back to protect them.
You
Don't worry,
see,
we got it.
figuring that they will bring any injured Rawl back to him to heal.
You make your way back to the dig team. They all, surprised by the outcome of these creatures emerging from the catacombs of this tomb, so to their knowledge, there's no means of sustenance for these creatures to thrive off of. So their presence here is an anomaly to them. But they seem to have already prepped for delving into the catacomb, the tunnel that they just discovered. Meanwhile, Guy, Chav, you guys navigate deeper into the catacombs to try and track down where Rawl went.
If I may, I know that technically we are out of. I think we are of the initiative.
Correct.
But I do have an ability that is basically called Shortcut that allows me to get 2 boost die per level of shortcut that I have to catch an opponent. So I know that you said survival, but could I use those to basically see how quickly I was able to catch up to this creature before it poofed? Or would that allow me to get there more easily because I was I literally was using shortcut to keep up with it?
Yeah. I'm gonna say, because this creature is a lot faster than you guys, and because you can use shortcut to try and track down where Rawl went. You're not going to show up when at the moment that this creature dissipated, but
sure,
you could use shortcut to try and help yourself find Rawl, as you were kind of on its tail for a moment. So yeah, you could use that to try and track to add to your survival.
Yeah, and Raw probably because Guy would probably have his tracker goggles too from the moment that they landed and was planning on checking the perimeter.
Okay.
So he's not even there.
So you can break out your tracker goggles. That'll give you a boost die.
Okay. So
call this a hard difficulty, as there's three tunnels that you're immediately faced with.
And this is a survival, you said?
Correct.
So what, you're giving me a boost die for the goggles?
Yep.
And then do I get to add the shortcut boost die or no?
Sure.
I would also like to propose adding a second boost die, as the fear, the rage, and adrenaline still coursing through Raw. He's kind of in a quote-unquote berserker mode right now, just with the adrenaline, not actual berserker mode, but the adrenaline.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of shouting as he kind of goes after where he saw the thing disappear and swinging wildly into the shadows. So you could hear the scream, the rage echoing through the corridor.
All right.
Am I allowed to do that, Sir GM?
I'll allow it.
All right.
Okay. Guy, this isn't your first rodeo. You're able to pick up on signs, telltale signs of somebody being dragged. Albeit this creature was damn near the size of a horse, there's no tracks left behind from this creature. However, you do see the occasional signs of boot prints being dragged across the floor from Rawl, as the heels of his boots occasionally tap against the ground and drag for about 10-15 feet. The stride of this creature is massive. And it helps you with that roll. You find Rawl relatively pretty quickly. That puts you way ahead of Chav and the rest of the team, and it's the two of you now in this antechamber. Rawl, you're swinging aimlessly at the shadows before you.
I would say for flavor, as he hears in the darkness, Guy come into the same antechamber. The swing kind of goes wild as he tries to swing at the noise, and he stops just short.
Guy, depending on how deep into the chamber you are, Guy wouldn't be all the way in the chamber. Guy would have reached the edge of the chamber the moment that he could, especially if he's hearing you. He would have gotten to like going through the tunnel, sees the opening of the chamber, would have basically, as he sees the opening of the chamber, literally had a moment of throwing one of his glow sticks to go into the area so it creates more light so he can actually see further down and then reach the edge of it. It's just boom, weapons out, got eyes looking, and it's just that moment of looking at you swinging his direction. But you realize that luckily you probably wouldn't have, you probably went that if it would have gone to you, you would have gotten him. But luckily for you, Guy is very much like he's a prepped man. And he just sees you do the swing, and his eyes are on you and scanning the area and just kind of going, "Are you all right there, dark guy?"
Heavy breathing, the axe still kind of like held out towards you in his hand. Eyes bloodshot.
Jav, at this time, I'm going to say you have no idea where the rest of your team went. You're currently alone in these tunnels.
Okay.
We do have
And
You got too far ahead. You do have means of communication. How effective it will be is yet to be established.
Well, we're about to find out because, like, once he gets to the point where he's like, I don't know where the fuck Guy went, and I'm also not seeing traces of Raul. It's just like, Guy, did you find Raul yet, or am I just stuck down here by myself now?
Guy's probably looking, still scanning, looking at the behavior of Raul, which unfortunately not the first time, and is had that thing of the weapon is aiming at the chamber off of Raul, but Guy's definitely keeping that weapon with enough angle that if he needed to, God's forbid, he doesn't know right now, especially because he can't see the goddamn creature, and he hears Chav on his ear, and it just
I will say this: as you receive the communique from Chav, is heavily obscured. You're able to make out most of the words, but you've reached a depth where short-range communication is going to be questionable at this point.
Is it obscured for me? Because I went back.
I will say you do not receive anything from your position.
Yeah.
but
It's how deep the chamber goes.
so we're on open comms right now, right?
Correct.
So Raw would also kind of hear the broken question from Chav as well.
Yes.
With the crackling in his ears, and he's just heavy breathing, still holding out the axe. After about 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats, he slowly lowers the axe and looks at Guy. Well, I guess there's more things here than we realized.
Where did it go?
Disappeared.
Which
Like-
way?
Don't know. Disappeared into the figments of imagination as if it was never there.
Raul, I have my poetry club for a reason. If you wanted to join and discuss that, we could. But right now is not the time for symbolisms. I'm trying to do my job. And it just kind of taps into the thing. It's just the bad signal chamber down the tunnels. And so he reaches for another glow stick and throws it toward the tunnels that he came through. He just attempts to throw one in that direction in the hopes that it keeps some light on the pathway that he used, that maybe somewhere down the road helps guide Jav in, or if they need to get the hell out from the same direction, there's a point of reference.
Jav, like, kind of piecing all this together a little bit, just kind of like listening really hard as he's like looking around, trying to figure out where to go. He's just like, alrighty, room, down the tunnel. It's all fucking tunnels, you asshole. What do you mean?
Yeah, Chav, you're pretty deep in there right now. Luckily for you, it's still at a grade where if you turn around, you can go back at least to where the main antechamber was, where you found the rest of your crew. But if you continue descending, who knows where you're going to end up.
He will go back if he can get the answer to this question, which is, as speaking slowly, trying to get as much across because he heard bad connection. Did you find Rawl?
At the mention of poetry, before you can answer, Rawl kind of steps forward, albeit a little bit strongly, like a little menacingly, a little bit. And he's just like, poetry. We are out of our depth here. If these things are on the first room we've come to, there's...
Did we both hear that?
Guy does not.
Right?
The sentence kind of trails off, and the anger momentarily just dissipates, and it's a noticeable change. You definitely notice Rawl's posture shift as he spins around to face the interior of the chamber.
You face the interior, and it's at this time initially, when you were brought to this chamber, you paid no mind to the immediate fear of this creature that you've never seen before overruled any desire to observe the room that you're in. As you realize the words that you just heard, interloper, you spin around and you find yourself at faced with a doorway. Along the side, the walls of this antechamber are 4 dark lords standing in between you and this door. As if warding you. Correct. Statues. As if warding you away from this door. It's a sign of danger. And as you come to the guy, as you take in this chamber, you come to the realization that this doorway may possibly be at the center of the Valley of the Dark Lords, just directly below it. With the amount of travel you've just went through, it seems to be converging in between all 5 tombs below ground.
Would this be if Guy were to basically produce the subterranean map? Would he find himself basically in an area that hasn't yet been scanned?
Correct.
Okay. I think also, especially as when Raul turns away from the tunnel he came from and toward this door in this chamber, I think Guy kind of goes, "Hey, Ral, I know you're the, I'm flying solo kind of guy, but if I may suggest that we regroup with your team right now, because it seems that communications are having a bit of an issue, and I don't know that Chav or any of the others can make their way here. So, if you allow me to use the wise knowledge that I have from the many, many missions that I have accomplished so far, successfully, by the way, may I suggest that we reconvene and return to this chamber at a later time now that we are actually able to track it?
Rawl is not listening.
Great. Raw.
Come to
Buddy.
find the knowledge I have.
I'm going to also say, Sir DM, I'm going to be taking an aim maneuver right now.
As Rawl, you hear the words, "Find the knowledge I have." As where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's session. As who this mysterious voice is reaching out to Rawl is, we do not know. Tune in next time as we continue the adventures of Star Wars Edge of the Empire. Uzdar Xauti completed. We'll see what the adventurer has in store for us next time on 2B Dice Adventures. Thank you again. Have a good night.